What is going on, guys? It's your boy Humble Haunter here, bringing you the Week 2 analysis for the APL monotype off-season. So let's just quickly take a look at the matches and the scores. So, first match in the Sun Division, we saw this normal type South London Sylveons beating the London Lanoons 2-0. The Poison type Michigan Munchlaxes losing 1-0 to the Psychic type Landon Lunderus. And the Steel type Ljubljana Lattes losing 2-0 to the Fighting type Ferris State Builders. And in the Moon Division, we see the Manchester Kitties getting destroyed 3-0 by the Fairy type Court City Cyndaquils. The Flying type New Jersey Dwebbles beating the Grass type Rock Sociedad 3-0. And finally, the Dark type Dominican Drapions beating the Atlanta Absols Water type 1-0. And if we quickly take a look at what this does to the standings. In the Sun Division, at the top of the table currently is Ferris State Boulders, who are 2-0 with a +3 differential, London Landerus, who are 2-0 with a +2 differential, and South London Sylveons, who are 1-1 with a +1 differential. And at the bottom half of the table, we've got London Lanoons 1-1 with a 0 differential, Ljubljana Lattes 0-2 -3, and the Michigan Munchlax 0-2 -3. In the Moon Division, at the top of the table, we see New Jersey Dwebbles, who are 2-0 with a +5 differential, Cork City Cyndaquils 1-1 with a +1 differential, along with Manchester Skitties, who are 1-1 with a +1 differential. Then both Dominican Drapions and Rolt Sociedad are 1-1 with a -1 differential. And finally, at the bottom of the table, we see Atlanta Absols 0-2 with a -5 differential. And quickly, just taking a look at the top kills. First, with 4 kills and no deaths, is Rotom Fan for the New Jersey Dwebbles. And then joint second for all the other Pokemon are Heliolisk, Metagross, Victini and Pangoro, all with 4 kills and 1 death. So that's the quick overview. And recent swaps, we see the London Landorus dropping both Claydol and Malamart, picking up Medicham and Latias, which will be effective next week. And the London Lanoons dropping Galvantula and picking up Electivire, which will be effective week 4. So that's the overview. Let's go into the analysis of the matches. Here joining me this week, we've got Aggron. Do you want to say hi, Aggron?
What's going on, guys?
Aggron is the coach of the Cork City Cyndaquils. So, as tradition, guys, we're going to start with the Sun Division. We'll start with the first match, the normal type South London Sylveons versus the electric type London Lanoons. Since this was my match, do you want to talk about this, Aggron?
Yeah, sure. So this is a really, really fun match. We knew from the start that Megalopony was going to be a huge problem for the London Lanoons. Also, Diggersby and Heliolisk, and they were big problems. The biggest deciding factor in this game was Megalopony stopping the Galvantula from setting up sticky webs that definitely. Stopped Megalopony from that would have stopped Megalopony from doing as much work and stopped the Diggersby from sweeping possibly at the end. But because of Megalopony's fake out plus return, Galvantula wasn't able to do that. Luxray was a huge positive for the London Lanoons.
Definitely.
Intimidate plus superpower was really, really good. Even critting the Meloetta, I believe it was.
Yeah, that was a bit annoying. It
was a bit annoying, but it was very, very well played by him for the Luxray. But in the end, Diggersby we knew was going to be a problem, and when Rotom Wash took all that damage and did go down, it kind of spelled the end for the London Lanoons.
Yeah, absolutely. I've got a few comments about this match. On the live comment, which unfortunately didn't work, when the Luxray crit, at the time, obviously I was a bit annoyed, because I had a little plan for Meloetta, but at the same time I was like, alright, if anything's going to get critted, at least it was the Meloetta. Because, yeah. I had some quite funky sets, actually. So my Meloetta and my Heliolisk was Solar Power, and Meloetta was Heat Rock Sunny Day. And so making sure he didn't get the webs up was massive because Heliolisk was Choice Scarf, so it would outspeed pretty much everything and destroy everything with a +1 Hyper Voice, which is great. The White Herb on the Diggersby as well. That was for 2 reasons. One, if he did get the sticky web up, I'd still be +2 Agility when I click Agility, and if he didn't, then I would not be -1 when I get intimidated. And that ended up working massively in my favour because I was able to take out both the Luxray and the Manectric with Diggersby. And yeah, I went into this match, I sort of predicted a close 2-0 victory for me last week. Andrew did as well. And it was a really close match, really back and forth. I had no switch-ins to his superpower from a Luxray, which was a bit annoying. But yeah, that was that. I think that's basically going to be my problem most weeks. Something needs to swap into a superpower and nothing can. But I was really happy with it. I think it was a really close match. He battled really well. I struggled, certainly. Managed to get a victory in the end, which is always what you want. And it was a really close match, I think.
Yeah, I'd say that the London Loons did well with the matchup. It wasn't in their favor, obviously, but with the matchup, they did play very, very well.
Yeah, I think the only time they misplayed was going for that toxic on my Lopunny with the Thunderous instead of just trying to get damage on my Lopunny. That allowed me to set up a substitute and take out 2 more Pokemon, really, which was just perfect. And yeah, so that was that in the end. Maybe one or two poor plays by him from times, but in the end, it was a good match. No hacks involved to that made it matter. That changed the way the match would have gone, really. So we move on to match number 2 now. Everyone thought this would be a lot less closer than it really was. It was the Poison-type Michigan Munchlaxes taking on the Psychic-type London Landorus, and this game was just a game of revenge kill after revenge kill. It saw the it was no hacks involved whatsoever. I think there was one misplay later on in the match. We'll get onto that in a minute. We saw Michigan Munchlax. Nobody really gave them a chance for this match, especially since they were the poison type. No one really thought they stood a chance at all. But they really, really showed what they could have done. They were unfortunate to lose. It was great prep there by the London Landorus, with the Mew making sure it had the Tango Berry, which wasn't necessary in the end, but to make sure it could stop a Sword Stance Scolipede and take it out. And then, the only misplay I think came in the match where the Michigan Munchlaxes just didn't spam Pursuit on the Mew because the Mew couldn't touch it after it was taunted. That was a mistake. It allowed the Mew to live for longer. And in the end, I think that may have been what won the London Landorus the game.
Yeah, like you said, nobody really gave the Michigan Munchlax a chance in this game. You would expect more of a result. Maybe the London Landorus maybe expected more of a result. Maybe they didn't play as well as they could have because, they were kind of, just expected a win. So maybe that's something they need to work on. But both teams played very, very well. Like you said, the Skuntank Pursuit play was a very, very big misplay. He knew the Mew couldn't touch him. But he still clicked Sucker Punch, and when he swapped out, he didn't get it. Also, letting the Alakazam set up a sub for 3.
Yeah, that was
I understand that, obviously, you want to click Sucker Punch to kill the Alakazam, but Substitute is such a common set on Mega Alakazam.
Yeah, and it's also not... It's not like he would have brought an Alakazam in, because he knew he had Sucker Punch. He's not going to bring him in and then attack him, because the Skuntank's the obvious play.
Yeah. To at least scout for the Substitute would have been a better play. But at the same time, like, hindsight's 50-50. You can't really... In the moment, you might have thought something completely different, so...
I think what Grey Michigan Munchlax need to do more, they need to think about what's the worst possible opportunity situation for them and how to stop that. So the worst situation would have been allowing the Mega Alakazam to set up a substitute. If they had let their Skuntank go down, but the Alakazam didn't have a substitute up, that would have been better than the Alakazam taking down the Skuntank and having a substitute up. As well as the Mew swapping out, they have to think, well, the Mew swapping out is the worst thing for me. I need to make sure it can't do that and just spam Pursuit. I think that's what he needs to work on in the future. Just taking into consideration what's going to be the worst outcome for him and making sure he can avoid that as much as possible.
Yeah, and I think Michigan Munchlax, obviously, they come out with a loss, but I think the differential isn't that big. Like, a 1-0 loss isn't too bad. And, for what they were given, they did very, very well. So I'm proud of them.
Next, we move on to match number 3. This match broke my heart watching it. So, week 1 analysis, I said that if Ferrostate Boulders don't destroy... Oh, shit, that's meant to say 2. If the Ferrostate Boulders don't destroy the Lubiana Lattes, they've done something wrong. But the Lubiana Lattes completely proved me wrong with one of the most initiative sets I've seen in a long time. Trick Room, Life Orb, Sheer Force, Marwol, destroying the Ferrostate Boulders. And then he missed. He had 3 Trick Room turns left, and the only Pokemon left were Infernape and Pangoro, and he missed his Play Rough, and the Infernape took him out. That was devastating to watch.
That was pretty sad. He definitely, I feel like he definitely would have won.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Was low enough to die.
The Infernape died.
Was he choice banded? Was he choice banded or Life Orb?
Life Orb, Sheer Force.
Yeah. So like he was in the driver's seat.
Oh yeah, no, it killed. I did calcs it. 1 hit KO'd everything. It killed Lucario from 100%. It beat everything.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that props to him. That strategy was really, really good, and it proved to be really, really effective. It's just unfortunate that he did miss. It would have been a win for him.
It would have been a win that no one saw coming as well. No one gave him a chance. Also, everyone said Infernape's going to run through his team. The Bronzor, the Heatproof Bronzor was, Someone said, I think it was you in the chat, said Heatproof Bronzor can put in a lot of work. It did. It allowed him to set up a trick room. Trick room Jirachi was cool as well. He basically sacked off a Jirachi. Everyone's like, what are you doing? But then we saw, the Marwal, that was his win con, and he would have won if he hadn't missed.
And he played it very, very well. He didn't get
he did. He didn't
just send out Marwal and try to kill. He played it very, very smart. And if he didn't miss again, he would have won that game. So
yeah. I think one of the only poor plays from them at the beginning was when they swapped in their Mega Sizzle turn 1, I think, to a Pangoro, and the Pangoro just clicked Fire Punch. I think they should have just let whoever it was die, or sack off the thing that would probably be the least important to them. And looking at the Fair State Boulders team, I mean, it sounds crazy, but I think Metagross was the least important thing on their team. So he should have really, unless that had Trick or something. But yeah, that was, I felt so bad watching that. 2 turns left and he misses the play rough and dies. So that was just a shame. I mean, it was massive props to him for putting up a fight like that. So, as you saw for the Sun Division, that left the Fair State Boulders first, the London Landerers second, South London Sylveons third, London Lanoon fourth, Ljubljana Latis fifth, I believe, and Michigan Munchlax sixth, but it was fifth, joint fifth and sixth. So now we move on to the Moon Division, and we got your match first versus the Manchester Skitties, a big rivalry this one.
I went over your game, so feel free to go.
So I mean, you'd think type advantage Fire has the type advantage over Fairy because it resists it, but looking at the team, I think it was really even. And for this match, I think it was just the prep that was going to win it for either team. And that is what happened. Clearly a bit of a rushed prep by Manchester Skitties, forgetting to put Speed Boost on Combuskin. That was a bit not clever. It was unlucky with, I believe, the Torkoal missing 2 Iron Tails in a row on the Clefable. That was the bit of hacks that came in. I think that really changed the game. It was very, very clever set. Choice Bandit, Iron Head on Heatran. Fairy type does not have many physical walls, but a lot of special walls, so that was very well done. In the end, I think just in terms of teams, you had the advantage looking over it now. I don't think I gave it to you week 1 analysis, but looking back on the teams now, I probably should have. You had, Water Pulse and Togekiss, which you used very well. You had the Azuma rule, and just a lot of things that you could do to him that he couldn't really respond to.
Yeah, to be fair, like you said, it was a very, very rushed prep from the Manchester Skitties. I feel like if they brought the Rotom Heat, I wouldn't be saying they won.
Definitely.
I told you, and I said it in my video as well. If he brought Rotom Heat, it would have been completely different because he would have had an immunity to Granbull's Earthquake, which scored a kill early, and he would have had a switch into Clefable and Togekiss.
And Azuma rules, he could have, if he'd stuck Scarf on it, if he'd stuck Scarf or Pasho Berry maybe on it, he really could have just destroyed the Azuma rule in the Togekiss.
Yeah, so I'm lucky to say that I won because again, like there was a little bit of hacks in the middle, but I'm happy how it played.
I think you.
I missed a few times. Though.
Yeah, I think you won because he didn't bring the Rotom Heat. Is the main reason I think. That was that match. Bitter rivalry between you two. Torkoal not picking up a kill actually, so there goes Cross, big prediction.
There goes Cross prediction, bitch.
Yep. My prediction is still very much correct that Mega Sizzle would go negative this season, who is currently 0-2.
That's just me.
Yeah. Next we move on to another heartbreaking match to watch. We got the Flying type New Jersey Devils versus the Grass type Real Sociedad. Your first prediction would be Flying type will always win, and that's what the score looks like. But if you watch the match, you feel so bad for Real Sociedad. He sets up 3 curses, I believe it is. He's +3 attack, +3 defense with his Cradilly. Skarmory comes in, goes for Whirlwind, reveals the Suction Cup so he doesn't get swapped out, and then Skarmory crits with an Iron Head, killing the Cradilly.
That was just that's the worst case scenario.
Yeah.
And it happened.
Yeah, Rotomo, like I said last week, Rotomo was going to put in loads of work. And another time Royal Sociedad got really unlucky was when the Rotom fan critted through a light screen, killing the Mega Venusaur. That was another one of his situations where you're just like, oh god. Yeah, I think I don't like saying people didn't deserve the win, but I really don't think the New Jersey Devils deserved the win this week, in my opinion.
Well, they played very, very well with what they were given. And allowing the Cradilly to set up curses, no one expects a curse Cradilly. Think about it.
Yeah.
So, he did get a lot of hacks in it, but he still didn't, make wrong plays, and I still think,
No, not at all. Going for the Ironhead was definitely the best choice. I mean, it's the only thing you do. He just happened to got a crit that turn, which is sort of where you go like, okay. And then the crit with the light screen as well, taking out the Mega Venusaur. It's like, again, right. Rotom-Mow was really good for Isu. It basically swapped into everything, got a kill with Volt Switch. New Jersey Devils used their Rotom Fan very well as well, saving it till the end where it could clean up, because it was one of the few things that could swap into Rotom-Mow late game, so that was very well played by him. And yeah, it was just one of those matches which could have been massively different on a different day with a different, role of the RNG. So I think in terms of the Moon Division, a lot of people are happy with the result. Because, Isu is one of those competitors that don't lose often, and when they do, it's something everyone needs to take advantage of.
Yeah, I think so.
And then New Jersey Devils have had a great 2 matches the last, beating the Dominican Drapions and Rolt Stage Stab. That's exactly what they need. No one had them in their prediction. I think at the moment they're playing really well and proving everyone wrong. The final match of the week, we have the Dominican Drapions taking on the Atlanta Absols. This is one of those matches, I mean, you feel bad for Atlanta Absols. Everyone knows, in terms of, I think, maybe experience and quality of battling, Atlanta Absols are one of the lower teams in the tier. And they got in a situation to win, and they just did it. They're the best. Again, it's like Michigan Munchlax. You have to think, what's the worst situation here? And he's got a 2-on-1 against him. Hydreigon, who's on -2 special attack. His Mega Gyarados is on full health. And then Dominican Drapions have a Mega Tyranitar who hasn't Mega'd yet, on full health in the background. Atlanta Absols should have gone for the Dragon Dance on the Hydreigon. There was nothing the Hydreigon could have done to take it out. And he should have gone for the Water-type move as well on the Mega Tyranitar. Those were just the 2 plays at the end. He had the match if he did that. He would have won. It would have been a massive victory for him, exactly what he needed. And it was just unfortunate for him. It was a very good match. Not many hacks involved. I don't think any were involved, actually. Very, very fast-paced match, just back and forth, revenge kill after revenge kill. And it was one of those just good matches to win. You never knew what was going to happen. The Weavile set up a +2 Swords Dance. It looked like it was over from there because it can knock off anything. And me giving a bit of advice before the match to Atlanta Absols to run Choice Scarfed Swampert, came out and killed the Weavile. That was quite impressive from me. And yeah, that was just the match. He was unlucky not to get the win. You sort of have to label it a choke. His situation, he just has to think about what's the worst possible situation, and that was it.
Yeah, both teams brought, I think their prep was very, very good. The Focus Sash Weavile Swords Dance very good, and also the Choice Scarf Swampert was very good.
Yeah, definitely.
But the Mega Gyarados just not clicking, Dragon Dance, it doesn't make any sense,
Yeah.
I guess you didn't want to risk a crit, but even then.
Yeah. So it's just one of those things, it's like, oh well. So, now that that's all the matches done, I think it's time to talk about Coach of the Week for you this week. Do you want to start? Maybe label 3 coaches, say why you liked what they did this week or whatever, say why you feel they did really well, and then pick one. You can start.
So, pick 3 coaches from all of them?
Yeah, all the matches all together.
Okay, so I would say it's the Cetaphil and the Sylveon, yourself. I'd say it's going to sound funny, but the Lubinala Laddies.
Oh, definitely.
Even though they lost, I do think they still deserve a lot of credit.
Definitely.
And then last one's tough. I would go maybe. I'm not sure. Maybe I don't know the last team. I guess the Real Sociedad. Because
the Cradilly set was so clever.
Yeah, out of those 3 teams, I do think the team of the week was the Laddies. They did deserve to win that game.
Yeah.
And it was just the RNG on that day. He missed the player off that would have won him the game. So, you can't really... And he would have got 6 kills from Mawile.
Yeah, no one would have seen that coming.
Yeah, exactly. Mawile would have led the league in kills. That's insane to think about.
Yeah.
So, the fact that the 10% was the reason that they lost 2-0. Which I believe, did they lose 2-0 last week as well? Or was it 1-0?
1-0, because they're -3.
1-0, yeah. So, it's just really, really unfortunate. But I would say that they prepped the best. They made a few misplays in their game, but everyone does. It happens, But I think they had a game plan, they stuck to it, and they played very, very well with it. And again, 10%. What can you do?
Yeah, absolutely. I think for me, bit arrogant, I'd probably say myself, Ljubljana Lattes, and then I'd say you. I think you did really well this week as well with what you had. You were a bit lucky in the fact that he didn't bring the Rotom Heat, but you still adapted very well to the team he had. I think for me, maybe the Lattes again, maybe myself. It sounds a bit arrogant, but for me, I mean, the reason I put myself, I had a plan before the match, and that's exactly what happened. You know, I said, look, I stop him getting webs up, and then I win at the end with Diggersby, and that's exactly what came off, and that was the perfect situation for me, really, and that's what I managed to do. I had the white herb on Diggersby. I think that was very good prep by me, stopping either stat drop from speed or intimidate. But again, the Lattes, I mean, it's a hard one.
Yeah, I put the Laddies over you.
Yeah,
simply because
I completely understand that. They had
the Laddies shouldn't have won, but you were like in control the whole game.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, no one gave the Latties a chance whatsoever, and they came through with an incredible Trick Room set. I don't know. I think I might. I'd say myself as coach of the week, but I'd say the Latties for set of the week or player of the week, or whatever. Trick Room and then Life Orb, Sheer Force, Marwell was an amazing idea, in my opinion.
Yeah, and it proved to be effective.
Yeah, absolutely. So now we're going to go on and take a look at the schedule, and we're going to go for the predictions for the week 3. So we'll start with the Sun Division again. We have the electric type London Linoons taking on the psychic type London Landorus. What are your thoughts?
Ooh, okay. Let me take a look at the teams here. The electric type London Linoons, they're Galvantula trade.
Yeah. They can still use it for week 3.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Yeah, I would say that's going to be pretty important.
Yeah.
For obvious reasons. So looking at it, they don't really look to have a lot for a Galvantula. They have choice characters, I guess. But to be fair, the Latias is a threat if they kill the Galvantula. They don't really have a lot for it after that.
I think, yeah. I mean, there's not too much. I mean, what are they going to do? Stick Hidden Power Bug on Manectric or something? They could. They could do that.
Yeah, Latias is going to be a huge problem.
Oh wait, no, they get knockoff on Thunderous. I think that'll be very important.
That's true. That's very important. We could just see a Thunderous sweep with knockoff. You never know.
Yeah.
And I think Mega Ampharos, if he does choose to bring it, might be effective as well. And Magnezone. We didn't even talk about Magnezone. Magnezone is really, really good against the London Landers.
Yeah.
As long as, no earthquakes or hidden power grounds come on, which they might not want to run because they have to hit the road and wash. Maybe. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you stick earthquake on something, you've always got to think about, does my opponent have a good switch? And he has a great switch, and road and wash can swap into an earthquake all the time.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a pretty even game in my opinion, but I think I'm going to give the slight edge to London Lanoons, the electric leader, just because he doesn't have a ground type, which means Volt Switch is completely free.
Oh,
and that might be really, really important.
For me, I mean, in terms of the teams, I'm looking at the teams right now, and the London Lanoons have more. I think if they have the opportunity, they can stick a Scarf on one of 3 things. They can put a Scarf Thunderous Eye, a Scarf Galvantula, which could be interesting, or a Scarf Luxray and put Crunch on it. I also think they have to run Intimidate Luxray to swap into the... No, they don't. I'm thinking of the wrong team. I was about to say swap into the Mega Glade, but that's a fighting type. No, they don't need to. They could run potentially Guts and swap into something that wants to swap into the Mew. Yeah, they can swap the Luxray into the Mew every day.
Yeah, that's very true.
But at the same time, I mean, the London Landorus also have a fair bit to counter. They can stick, maybe Banded or maybe Scarfed Metagross with Earthquake. Mega Alakazam's always just a threat. There's no doubt about it. His only swap into Mega Alakazam is a Magnezone, and then he can just put Hidden Power Ground on the Mega Alakazam and take it out. I think the London Lanoons have to run an Assault Vest Magnezone, in my opinion, for this match, as well as...
yeah, maybe. It depends on if the Latias is offensive or not. Because if it's offensive,
it could
you
have
don't really
Earthquake.
have a lot of switches except for Magazine.
True, but then the Latias can have Earthquake, you know. I like to run, it's weird, I like to run Earthquake, Latias and OU and stuff. I mean, it's hard because also London Landorus have so much potential for versatility. They can stick Earthquake on Latias, Mew, Hidden Power Ground on Alakazam. Victini Choice Banded V-Create just beats everything.
Except for Mega Ampharos, which is the best counter to it in the game.
That is true. I mean, Mega Ampharos has fantastic special defense and special attack in terms of against this team. Just looking at the teams, in terms of coach's ability, I never like to say a coach is better than another, but I think the London Landorus are a better coach. But I think in this situation, I have to give a 1-0 victory for the London Lanoons in terms of their team. But that's only if they prep well. They have to make sure.
I would agree. Like if the London Lanoons play well and prep well, and maybe bring like a weird set to catch the Landorus off guard, I'd say I give it a 1 or 2-0 to the Lanoons.
But I think as soon as the London Lanoons make a bad play or make a bad prep, they'll lose all momentum, and then Mega Alakazam and Victini will just take over or something.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to give a sort of a 1-0 to London Lanoons. Maybe. I think they're the underdogs in this situation, but they have the best chance of winning, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Next, we move on to me, the South London Sylveons versus the Ljubljana Latis. So, your thoughts?
Let me just take a look at the team. Well, obviously, it's Normal versus Steel. You know, you have to give the upper hand to the Laddies. However, he doesn't have too much for a Mega Lopunny. Mega Scizor is probably the best thing.
Although,
but
Fire Punch.
Exactly. So, yeah. I think it's going to really come down to Jirachi. If the Jirachi puts in a lot of work.
Yeah.
Because it does beat your team somewhat with certain sets.
He has the option to run physical Jirachi or special Jirachi, and he can catch me off guard if I'm not ready for either one, really.
Yeah. Also, Bisharp isn't too bad against your team once Mega Lopunny's gone, because Punch is pretty free. Ferroseed is maybe a bit of a problem for you, because it can just set up loads of stuff. But at the same time, you know, Digger's Bee's Earthquake is basically free.
Yeah.
You know, you don't really have to think about it. You just kind of click the button. Unless he brings Bronzor or Levitate, that's the only thing. And he doesn't have a ground type. So for the same reason I gave the London Lanoons the advantage over Landers, because they don't have a ground type, it's the same with the Laddies and you. They don't have a ground type to take Neolisc's Volt Switch.
I'm going to look at either side of the coin here. You know, Jirachi, they have so much versatility with that. It can really catch me off guard. They could, you know, potentially bring a similar Marwell set as before, and that could be, you know, quite detrimental. I think for him, it's going to be if he brings the Bronzor, it's going to be tough. You know, does he bring Heat Proof to support the Mega Scizor and things like that, or does he bring Levitate to try and counter the Diggersby? And it just sort of depends what one he'd rather do, whether he'd rather protect his own Pokemon or try counter mine. So he could play a bit of mind games with that, to be honest. Also, I don't know. I feel like he doesn't have enough special capability for me to worry about, you know, having to bring certain walls and stuff. I think I can bring something like I could bring Porygon 2, Miltank and Munchlax and make them all physical or special, you know. So I think I have more
I would give the upper hand to you, just because I know that, you know, the matchup might be like kind of obvious, no one's deal, but looking at teams, it's in your favor.
I think I have more.
Like he could win.
I think just looking at teams, not taking into prep or anything like that, I think I have more to take him on than he does to take me on.
Yeah, I would agree.
You know, I've got the Fire Punch on Mega Lopunny, just the high jump kick for things like Deblade, Bisharp, Clang, all that stuff. And then Earthquake on Diggersby as well. And I just don't think he has enough to deal with that. But at the same time, he's proven he's very good and he's got clever sets. I think, if again, like London Lanoons, if I prep well and play well, I think maybe a 2-0 victory.
Yeah, I would agree.
I think for him, his most important Pokemon will be Jirachi, and for me, Mega Lopunny and Diggersby. Yeah. And then we move on to the final match in the Sun Division, which is the Ferris State Boulders, who are taking on the Michigan Munchlax. I mean, you look at it and you think Poison resists fighting. But Unlucky's and the Ferris State Borders have been proven themselves that they are very capable. Just looking at the teams now, Mega Gallade tears through everything.
Well, not really.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, no, Crobat actually can counter it.
Crobat outspeeds it and destroys it. The Neo Queen can take a hit.
Oh, as long as he keeps his Pokemon fresh, he has a couple switch-ins.
The only thing that I'm worried about for the Ferris State Boulders is that Mega Venusaur. I know it firsthand. It's so tough to kill. And I guess with his team, he is the upper hand from our scenario because his team is much more offensive. So he might be able to play around it more. But Mega Venusaur is still a problem. It still beats most forms of Lucario.
True.
It beats Keldeo. It beats Breloom. It beats Toxicroak. It beats Fangoro. Mega Gala is the only thing that he has to beat Venusaur.
Yeah, that's very true.
And if that's it, and it dies, then he's in trouble.
Yeah, I mean, actually, now that you say that, what I can see happening, if what Michigan Munchlax can do, they bring a Weezing with Will-O-Wisp and then a physically defensive Mega Venusaur as well, and the Ferris State Boulders are going to struggle a lot.
Yeah, and even just having Skuntank on the team will make the Ferris State Boulders second guess every play.
Yeah, I think.
Do I go for a Psychic Zen Headbutt or something, or will I predict the Skuntank?
Yeah, I mean, just looking now, does Gengar get Will-O-Wisp? Yeah, it does. What I could potentially see, it might not work, but I could see a Scarf Gengar with Will-O-Wisp coming.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
Scarf Will-O-Wisp Gengar. Then he can bring it in against the Gallade or something, set up a Will-O-Wisp, and we'll just Will-O-Wisp everything.
Yeah, I would give the upper hand to the Michigan Munchlax. I think it's going to be a 2-0 to them, as long as they bring the right sets and the right mons.
I think he'll have to be clever about his sets. He can't just bring normal, sets.
Yeah, he has to bring the right team.
Things like Focus Sash or Life Orb Gengar, they're just not going to do that much this match.
We haven't even talked about Choice Banded Crobat. Like, what does the...
That is true. That is very true. Choice Banded Crobat outspeeds everything, and he just clicks Brave Bird. And the only switch-in is something like a Lucario.
The Lucario, who still gets 2 shots. So, that's very good. Important.
Yeah, something like Choice Banded Crobat, so if he swaps into Lucario, then Michigan Munchlax just swaps straight into Venusaur.
Exactly. See, it's just... It seems too... Pardon the pun. It seems too unlucky. The matchup is just so much in Michigan Munchlax's favour.
Yeah,
I would say it's either 2 or 3.
Yeah, in terms of teams, I have to say a 2 or 3-0 for Michigan Munchlax. He just brings some solid walls and then something like Choice Scarf Crobat and then maybe Scolipede potentially with I don't know, maybe not Scolipede. Dragougi, to be honest. Specs adaptability Dragougi. What's his swap into from that other than Lucario?
Exactly. Yeah, you see, there's just so much. He has to prep for that. I think it's just going to be too overwhelming.
And Unlucky constantly goes on about it as well. He has no bulk on his team.
Yeah, he has to play offensively.
If Michigan Munchlax can save something like a Choice Banded Crobat till the late game, he will win. No doubt about it. He needs to... Again, I think Michigan Munchlax, his problem is not thinking about the worst and best case scenario. He needs to save his win cons for the end game. Do everything he can to make sure they don't get hurt and then win from there.
I agree.
Because the Ferris State Boulders don't have anything with Heal Bell, do they? I think actually
I don't think so.
I think Gallade might get it, but that might be it. And he's not.
Gallade might, but he won't run that.
Yeah, he's not going to run it.
Realistically,
it doesn't. It gets Wish, but that's it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think if I can see, I think the best set would be a True Scarf Gengar with Will-O-Wisp, burn everything, and then I think he needs to put Will-O-Wisp on a bunch of things.
Yeah, like Weezing, Gengar.
He needs. So Gengar, Scarf, Trick, Will-O-Wisp, and then some 2 attacking moves, 2 physically defensive Pokemon, Weezing and Venusaur, 1 thing to counter a special Keldeo and Lucario set or something like that, and then just Crobat and Dragougi, and I think he wins.
Yeah, I agree.
Yes, I think 2 or 3-0 for Michigan Munchlax. So next, we move on to the Moon Division. We're going to be taking a look at what matches there. First, we've got you taking on Cork City Cyndaquils taking on the New Jersey Dwebbles. That is Flying type taking on Fairy type. So if we take a look, let's see. You've got Mega Gardevoir, Fable, Klefki, Whimsicott, Togekiss, Sylveon, Gramble. He's got that. I don't know. Something just tells me that if you stick Thunderbolt and Hidden Power Ice on everything, you shouldn't lose.
Yeah, the two scariest mons for me.
I think the Mega Aerodactyl.
I don't want to give too much away, but Skarmory and not even Moltres. I'd say Mega Aerodactyl.
Yeah, I think Mega Aerodactyl. If he, sets up a home clause with that, you're in big trouble. But at the same time,
I think if I play around those right,
I think on your team you have things to deal with the Mega Aerodactyl. You can stick Magnet Rise, Klefki. You've got Prankster, Whimsicott to do things like Stun Spore the Mega Aerodactyl. I think you've got enough things to deal with his threats. I mean, you got.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, what's a Skarmory gonna do to Klefki other than Whirlwind? And in that case, you put Defog on Togekiss, Thunderwave on Klefki. Skarmory's out of the game.
Exactly. Yeah, I just don't. I don't want to be unfair to him, but the matchup is just kind of two in my favor.
And then again, if you're taking a look at his team right now, other than Rotom Fan, he has nothing for an Azumarill. Absolutely nothing.
Yeah, Noivern resists Aqua Jet, but it still doesn't want to take.
Yeah, it's not going to take a Play Rough. Yeah, Hawlucha, Noivern, they're all taking massive damage from Play Rough. You got Skarmory, Moltres, Gligar, Mega Aerodactyl, Togetic. They're all going to get hit massively by Waterfall. And then you got things like Gardevoir and Clefable. They're getting Thunderbolt on them. I don't think. I think it's going to be a 3 or 4-0 win for you. I think what you do.
Jesus Christ! Don't go that far, Jesus. If I lose now, God.
I mean, all you need to do really is take out the Skarmory and have a check to his Rotom Fan, and he's not going to touch you.
Yeah.
Something like especially defense. Right. Yeah, if you run a specially defensive Klefki with Magnet Rise, he is going to struggle a lot.
So yeah.
Yeah, so I think maybe a 3-0 for you. I mean, I'm taking a look at his team now. I'm trying to see what he has for your team. Other than Skarmory's, what's he going to do? Run Choice Band, Ironhead, Skarmory. That's the only wall breaker.
Togetic can take a few hits.
Yeah, Togetic's going to be a big wall. I think that's the only thing that's going to be walling something like an Azumarill or a Clefable. But at the same time, if you set up sub Calm Mind Gardevoir and throw off some Thunderbolts, what is he going to do?
Yeah.
Sub Calm Mind Thunderbolt Dazzling Gleam, he can't touch you, and you hit everything stupidly hard.
Stupidly hard.
The Hawlucha's not going to be doing much. Noivern's not going to be doing much.
Moltres resists.
Moltres resists stuff, but you can stick Hidden Power Rock on something, and what's he going to do? Clefable, Hidden Power Rock. It's just not a switch-in. Gligar. I see Gligar coming as an Eevee-like wall, really.
Oh yeah, no, Gligar, I'd say is definitely coming.
I think that's his own. That and Togetic are his only things they're going to be able to take maybe 2 hits, so they'll be able to switch in and then restart.
Maybe Rotom Fan if he runs it with like a bulky.
I see Rotom Fan coming because it hits everything pretty hard other than a Klefki. Specs Rotom Fan, I think he needs to bring.
Yeah. I agree.
So yeah, I think other than that, he just doesn't have enough on his team to deal with your team, and you have so much on your team that can deal with his team. So I'd say a 3-0 for you.
Yeah, I agree.
So next we move on to the Manchester Skitties taking on the Dominican Drapions. Let's take a look at this. Manchester Skitties, Dominican Drapions, Dark type taking on Fire type.
It's a really, really funny matchup because it's even. But I kind of, first of all, Zen, if you're listening, baby, I want you to win, right? You need to win, all right? Because you need to win. So, like, the matchup is in his favor, Like, Zen has Tyranitar.
I think Mandibuzz and Umbreon together, Manchester Skitties don't have enough to take those two out.
Exactly, yeah, no. They don't have anything.
And then if
they bring...
Yeah, and if he wants to run a bulky T-Tar set and set up rocks, again, Manchester Skitties are in trouble. One of the problems we've seen for Manchester Skitties, they've had to bring Torkoal most matches, because I believe that's the only thing, other than Zardex, which can get rid of rocks, and they're not going to be running Defog on Zardex, because you have 4 moves, you need to use them wisely.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if Zardex sets up a Dragon Dance, if it's a fast offensive Dragon Dance that runs Earthquake, Flare Blitz, and something like that, let's see, he hits the Bishop hard, Dragon Claw as well, he hits the Hydreigon hard, hits Skuntank hard.
I would even disagree with that, because I think Mandibuzz might be able to hit one
Rocky Helmet Mandibuzz, I think, rules it.
Yeah, and then you always have Sharpedo that can speed boost on it.
Yeah, I mean, Craft's a very clever prepper as well. I can see something coming that will counteract a speed boost Sharpedo, potentially like Psych Up, maybe, if anything gets that. They both got their speed boost Pokemon. Baton Pass isn't actually banned, so if he wants to run, Sash, speed boost, Combustion with Sword Stance, he can baton those into Zardex, maybe. But at the same time, I think Drapions just have too much for the Skitties to deal with.
Yeah, I think so, and I think we haven't even talked about like Tyranitar.
I was about to go on to it. I mean, Tyranitar, if he runs a bulky Dragonlance set, he got Earthquake, Crunch, Stealth Rocks, and Dragonlance. He can hit Heatran. He can hit Zardex. He can hit Ninetales. He can hit everything really except the Volcanion that hard.
Like all he needs to run is Stone Edge Earthquake. He hits his whole team.
Yeah. I mean,
that's enough.
But at the same time, Dominican Drapions don't have too much for a Specs Volcanion. That's something I saw. Specs Volcanion with a Steam Eruption.
Yeah.
That's going to hit.
That's Umbreon.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Whether Zen chooses to run both physically defensive Mandibuzz and Umbreon, or whether he runs Umbreon special, but then he doesn't. He needs to make sure he keeps his Mandibuzz healthy for the Zardex.
Yeah, I think it will come down to like the team. Looking at the teams. The Zen has the upper hand, but it all comes down to the 6 that they both bring.
Although,
if Zen 6 does well against Craft 6, I mean, I don't think Zen Craft can do too much.
Something we haven't talked about, something we actually haven't seen yet in the league is Blaziken. While it's still Blaziken, Choice Scarf Blaziken, or Choice, even speed boosted Combustion into a Blaziken, if it's Choice banded, that will smash everything.
It will, yeah. So
if he speed boost passes into Blaziken, runs choice banded Blaziken, high jump kick hits everything, and then maybe Thunder Punch for the Mandibuzz, and he wins.
So it'll be interesting to see how both of these.
Yeah, this is one that's really hard to tell. I think in terms of team, they're both really good capability as well. They're both very good. I think in terms of the teams, I have to give it to Drapions, but a very close 1-0 I see happening.
I'd give it a 2-0 to Drapions.
Yeah. Next, we move on to the final match of the week. Probably one of the most easiest matches to call. The Grass-type Rolt Sociedad taking on Atlanta Absols. I mean...
What can you really say?
Yeah. There's nothing for... just Leaf Storm, White Herb, Roto Moat. It wins.
Dude, Swords Dance, Mega Venus.
Yeah, there's just he can run Unburdened Sceptile, make sure he outspeeds everything, and just
Yeah.
He's got his
Tentacruel is the only thing that's not weak to water on his team, and it's not weak to Rotom.
Yeah. Right.
It's neutral to grass, but it's still like.
Does Rotom get any actual grass types other than Leaf Storm?
It only gets Leaf Storm.
Okay, so I was saying he could probably run Specs, to be honest, because that outspeeds...
Yeah, the bank on a miss.
Yeah, even then, Specs Rotom Mow outspeeds everything, other than maybe a Sharpedo. And Sharpedo is definitely coming. Sharpedo with Ice Fang has to come. But yeah, Rotom Mow, if he runs Specs, he kills everything with a Volt Switch or a Leaf Storm. It's simple.
Yeah, even a bulky Manaphy.
Yeah, and then Ludicolo rules the Manaphy because of Storm Drain. So does Cradilly, and Ludicolo walls most things as well. Rotom Mow, again, I think Rotom Mow is, as I said so far, it's been amazing this tournament. I think it's going to put even more work in this match as well. Specs, he can. White. To me, I can't call whether he'll run Specs or White Herb. Both of them are going to put in just as much damage.
I would say it comes down to the Atlanta Absols Manaphy, because if you look at his team, Manaphy can put in quite a bit of work with the right set and with the tail glow up.
Yeah.
Maybe with the right moveset as well. So I would say if they are able to get that tail glow up late and the right things are dead, I would say that the Absols might have a chance. But the Ross, they just have so much of an advantage.
Well, at the same time, actually, I think the Rolts might even run Scarf Rotom Mow just to counteract a Manaphy.
Exactly, yeah, and they don't even have to. They have Superior there.
Yeah.
They have Shiftry with Sucker Punch that can stop that pass. A lot of stuff.
To be honest, yeah, Scarf Superior with Leaf Storm. What does he do? One Leaf Storm, he's already at +2. Another one, he's at +3. +4.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's so I want to hope that the Atlanta Absols can pull something out of it and maybe like make the differential low, but I'm going to call it 4-0.
Yeah, I see a 4-0 to the Rolls, so I see that. Right, so that's been everything for this week, guys. I'm going to have to sign off here. This has been Aggron with me this week. Awesome guy. Good luck to him in his match next week. Thanks for watching, guys, and see you guys in the top 5 hacks. Maybe, I don't know if this will be out before or after this for week 2. Anyway, see you guys, and peace.